Right, okay, so it's observation with Ryan Crozier on the 23rd of the 11th, 2016. Ryan?
Yeah.
Say your name.
Ryan Crozier, sorry. I always forget this.
Right, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So talk me through this particular Facebook profile. What is it?
Okay, so this is the Facebook profile I run for a company called Books, who are a subscription-backed service based on the idea of a bucket list, launching in January. The whole point of using social media at this moment in time is to plug and gain traction for the crowdfunder and try and get people to pledge. So we'll do that through the likes of the GIF. Says we've got 6 days to go until the end of the crowdfunder. So we're running countdowns all through GIFs. It's nothing special. It's just a flashing image, but I think it gets what we've known to get people to actually look at it and go, oh, okay, what's that about? The posts in terms of, I'll turn it down if I get to them. So there's the account now. We do tend to use the lot of GIFs, as it says, to try and it comes across quite funny. You know, I mean, it's quite an amusing thing to go along with the post, because on Facebook, as you can see, the posts that we normally have are quite long, because you've got unlimited amount of characters. We'll use that to actually, we'll use as many as we can to get our point across and to actually have a laugh.
So what's the idea of the content that you put up there?
Okay. So the idea of the content is to, I think firstly it's to come across real. It's not to come across like, because there's a lot of accounts out there that are just robotic and they've got no kind of personality to them. So with us, it's more so on Twitter, but on Facebook here that we're using, it's very personal. Most of the time they'll be signed off by who posted them, depending on how the post is, because sometimes I'll go to an event and I'll sign it off as me, and I'll all night I'll do running posts at that, more so on Twitter. That's on Facebook. It's less. On Facebook you get less posts. It's more of the post, making the posts that you have matter. What we want to do is, like I said, the point of them is to get people to pledge to the crowdfunder.
Yeah, but the kind of attitude that you're getting is that there's people behind this, and you're sort of fun-loving people that do this bucket list every day.
Yeah.
But you don't.
No. It's essentially.
No, it's all right. I understand.
No, but the thing with social media is it's upfront. So with business, you want to kind of come across how you want your business to come across, and it's
what your brand values are.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be real. You don't have to tell the truth. You just need people to really think.
So you're going to put a post up. What are the procedures to put that post up? Where do you get your content and things like that?
Okay, so content generally the content that we've been posting has been, it will just be created on the spot. It will just be how you feel, getting it across like that. But the likes of things that annoyingly I can't on Facebook see. We have some here that are press releases and some kind of press releases and articles where books have been mentioned in the news. So here, because we were recently in the Baldwin's Kickstart final, it's quite good to put things out like this, be like, okay, so, and it kind of boosts your brand in a way, it kind of lifts it up and go, okay, they're not just a small little business ready to start in January, we've got 100 odd followers on Facebook, they're actually something that's got a bit of potential, and there's a lot of size to it.
Okay, so there's the PR side of things,
yeah.
It's just sort of part of the promotional mix, isn't it? Of
getting
things started.
Yes.
But let's say your day-to-day sort of, I need to see where you source content from and things like that.
In terms of things like if I was posting something along the lines of like a news article.
Yeah, that's content, isn't it?
Yeah, annoyingly on Facebook there isn't much, but a lot of content, it revolves around the idea of a bucket list. So I've just recently found this.
Yeah.
So something like that would be used to be posted online, and you talk about how we supply this kind of idea of fulfilling a bucket list activities, going close to our crowdfunding pre-order, because it's based on a pre-order basis, going pre-order, and that's something for you to go and do.
So with this content, I mean, this will direct them to the Vancouver Sun. Is there any way that, do you not want it directing to your website as well?
Yes, but in terms of the way we post content at the moment, it's very constant. I think it's around about 4 or 5 posts a day on Twitter,
Really?
probably once or twice a day on Facebook, and every single one has our link into our crowdfunder, which is where we want people to go at the moment. So I don't think it's a matter of people don't know where to go. It's just we want to create kind of the right content to go out and actually get people to see what we're talking about, see what we're doing, instead of looking at everything and going, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. We need to kind of differentiate our posts. Like on Twitter, it's very much quite a few. You'll have your promotional posts, and you get these 10% off if you use this. And
so do you run adverts and things like that?
We have run one Facebook ad a couple of weeks ago at the start of the crowdfunder. It worked out quite well, but we didn't actually put enough money into it for it to see major.
How would you set up an advert? Do you know?
Okay, so
you don't have to actually do it, don't worry.
No. I've put my bank details in and everything. Okay. Okay. So say if it was this post, if we scroll.
Yeah.
Okay,
sorry, my computer's a bit slow.
So we'd click here on Boost Post.
So click on it. I won't do it straight away.
I have a notification. So we'd click there on Boost Post. And it would bring up a box.
It should do, it's my computer.
And it would essentially ask you how long you'd want to run an ad for.
There we go. God, this is working slow, isn't it? Oh. Let's get rid of that. It's just got too much up.
That's cool. So yeah, essentially it'd bring up a box and it'd ask you how long you'd want to run the advert for, how much you want to put into it, and essentially like that, which is coming now. But I remember we did some research into it because we know someone who runs a lot of Facebook campaigns for their Facebook, and they get thousands of people reached because it tells you how many people are reached.
Yeah. And
we wonder why. And when we ran ours, we didn't actually put enough money into it. One article said you should delegate, or you should put something like £1 to every like you have, to every person you have. So then it equates to that, but I think you do actually have to put quite a bit of money into Facebook marketing to actually gain some kind of major traction and outcome in something like this, because I think the issue we've got as well, some people see crowdfunder and people will go, oh, that's giving money for no reason. But with the way we're doing it, it's a pre-order basis, and I think that's something that's really hard to get across. But yeah, so here's your box. There's your budget. It'll tell you how many people it'll think you'll reach. You've got your who you actually target, like who your audience are. Sorry,
your audience is very broad as well. That's probably why you're not going to hit many people.
Yes, yeah.
What sort of things do you think you need to look at, maybe with your audience, to narrow that down? Who's going to go for the bucket list?
Well, yeah, we need. I think it's. I think mainly it was 18 to 24-year-olds, and the other end of it was 30. I'm not going to get the numbers right here, but it was essentially like 30 upwards and 18 to 24. So it's like people who are going to university and things like that, and also people who are office workers, and people who are also like office workers stuck in the office doing their standard 9 to 5 and doing that kind of side of it. So there are quite a few audiences we could target at, but like you said, it was a bit too broad in terms of how we do it in this one.
All right, cool. Let's have a look at the insights and see how you're doing.
The insights, so they are cancel.
See if it manages it up the top. So that's
yeah.
there.
I was there. Sorry, I thought I'd have to scroll up.
No, you don't.
Cool. Okay. So at the moment, it's quite down.
It's all right. It's Wednesday, isn't it? You'd have had Saturday and Sunday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so talk me through kind of what's good, what's bad. What does this page show us?
Okay, so good is our reach. Like, our reach is very good at the moment. It's a weird one because we put out a lot of posts and they'll get shared by the same amount of people, and they'll get shared by the same people and liked by the same people, which will make that post go on. But for some reason, sometimes that post might only reach 50 people, but then next week it'll reach 1,000 odd people.
So what are the factors do you think? I mean, there are anomalies, but what factors do you think you need to take in when looking at the stats like this?
Well, most of the time they're shared by Dan, who's the founder who actually runs the business, I think 1,000 or something friends on Facebook, which is quite good. You share that straight out there. It's on their timeline. That's something we do for everyone. And then liking it. What we need to do is get likes on it. And if you look at the ones where they've got no likes, they're not reaching people. All it takes is one like for someone to actually from that to go on to from their timeline to someone else's.
But look at the last 10 posts.
Look at the
or 5 there. Just scroll down.
Okay.
So looking at here, you've
Yeah.
got a mix of different things.
Yeah.
So why do you think there's one that's got 548 and one that's got 24?
Oh, okay. So
What do you think the difference
the
is?
engagement.
Yeah. No, I know that.
Oh, the difference with the content. on
Yeah,
the
but
post
why?
itself.
Yeah, so why is that content?
Well, I 29.
Have a look at the
Time.
content.
I know the content.
Yes, so time.
So the time, that was too early in the day. That was during work hours. So the likeliness of people seeing that is a lot less.
What is the content as well?
That content basically says bad news. We were planning to do a bush to control type thing when we reached the target for our crowdfunder. Sadly, with insects, if you're allergic to shellfish, you could also be allergic to insects. Dan's majorly allergic to shellfish. So that's a new, you know what I mean, but we're breaking the news to people about how that is. So really, that's something that people aren't going to like. I mean, it's not something it's there to be liked.
So there's kind of no point putting that out there.
Yeah, but it did have to be put out there, because otherwise, if people were expecting that to happen, and there was no, and like we just
You
didn't
could
do
have done
it.
it.
Pardon?
You could have done it.
I may still be.
Well, yeah,
I
okay.
may still be, but we've there's a couple. There was loads of targets, basically, loads of milestones, leading up to £100,000. Just joking, really, in case we did meet it. The £4,000 one is we've got to wax our legs, and we're doing that like next week. And I think I'm doing the insects, and we're trying to work something else around it. But in terms of the content, sorry, I'm veering off.
So I mean, really, you just marketing bad news doesn't always work, does it?
No.
And it's not going to reach where you've got something there, and you've got reasonably steady. There's one of 171, but it's just pushing the crowdfunder, isn't it? It's just selling, so that's for me. What would be maybe good? Would there be any worth in sort of running maybe 2 adverts, like one selling and one like boosted post, one selling and maybe one about good news or something like that?
Probably, yeah, probably. I think we were looking into that. Was like obviously budget's a major thing.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook ads is low cost, and but for small businesses, that low cost is still quite a bit of spending that you don't actually want or need to. Sometimes you don't think you need to spend. So running Facebook ads is something we really wanted to do, but you have to put a lot of money into it. It's like we wanted to put a couple of £100 into it instead of just 50 quid or 100 quid. Do you know what I mean? You have to put in what you're going to do. And I think after the crowdfunder's finished, and that finishes next week, next Monday.
Have you hit your targets?
We're on £4,600 now, so we need £400 and by next Monday. So we think we should get there. We've got like quite a few corporate sponsorships coming through, and some big bulk business buys, which is something like £200 for $20, 10 boxes. So yeah, we're very close to the target. We should beat it, but as that crowdfund is building up to finish, I don't think there's a point of running an ad in such a small period of time. If we were going to do it, we should have probably put the one that we did earlier on in the crowdfunder, probably should have been more focused on and put a bit more money into, a bit more funneled in on certain people. If we were to run one now, it'd be running after the crowdfunder through the Christmas period, running some kind of promotional offer for Christmas. Like use code book to Xmas to
and that's good for a new brand. Promotional offers are good. Yeah,
so that's something we could, like, obviously we do want to look into with using the money we get from the crowdfunder in terms of marketing. Come the new year, I think the main point of what we need to do, it's not about cash flow, it's not about how much money we're getting, it's about numbers.
Yeah.
So we just want subscribers, we want people to come and actually go, I know who they are. So running Facebook ads then would be less selling, it would be more actually just brand awareness, and it'd be going out and just putting out some kind of so like a video, because our crowdfunder video, we pushed that a bit. That was quite a funny video. If we had something along the lines of that, like a promotional video, because hopefully if we bring someone in, they're quite good at videography or video editing. I don't know the term for it.
That's right.
So yeah, if we bring someone in who can do that, and we create some kind of promotional video for the new year, and we can run that through a Facebook ad, that would be really, really good.
Cool. Thank you, Ryan.